This video will help you use a baseline 5315B soil moisture sensor to monitor water levels in your pond or cistern. Traditionally, these sensors have been used to monitor moisture content in the soil, but they're very versatile. Baseline soil moisture sensors can be used to indicate water levels in any body of water and even automate decisions based on those levels. Here's the hardware you'll need to make this happen: a base station 3200, a BL5315B soil moisture sensor, mounting hardware for the sensor, and of course your body of water like a tank, canal, or pond. Start by deciding where in the water you're going to place the sensor. The side of a dock might work, or for a canal, an existing post could work. Allow your body of water to drain to the lowest level that's acceptable. Submerge your moisture sensor, and then mount it vertically. Your goal is to have the sensor about halfway in the water and halfway out of the water. This gives you a good range for variable water levels. There are many different mounting options. PVC pipe, zip ties, or stainless steel clamps all work well. Whatever material you choose, it's important that the sensor doesn't move around and the materials don't corrode since they're exposed to water. On my PVC mounting, I use zip ties to hold the sensor in place and a few more for the wire as it leaves the tank. Another option is to drill holes in the pipe and run zip ties through those. Consider using a well screen as a diffuser to minimize wave influence, since waves can throw your readings off. A remote wet well is another way of isolating wave influence in a pond or lake. Once the sensor is installed, connect it to the 2-wire path. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for connecting the included DBRY6 splices. Make sure that you get the red and black wire polarity correct. Here's how to use your installed sensor to monitor water levels. Open Base Manager, go to Devices, and search the wire path for soil moisture sensors. Give your new sensor a unique name and then save before leaving. Now that it's assigned, I can use the test function to see the moisture content, or I can go to Quick View and see the current moisture content there. This value of 26.1% isn't necessarily important, but the repeatability of that value is significant. The next time the sensor reads 26.1%, the water level will be at that same low water mark every single time. Besides monitoring, we can use this data to automate irrigation decisions. Creating a water source empty condition will discontinue the use of a water source when the sensor indicates the water source, or our tank, is empty and unusable. Begin at the Flow Setup tab, go to Water Sources, and then select Edit. Click Add Empty Condition to see the different sensor options. Since I've named my soil moisture sensor earlier, it's easy to find that device. At empty condition percent, I'll set it to 26.1%. That corresponds with the lowest water level that I'm willing to accept in the tank. For wait time, I'll try out 120 minutes or 2 hours. Now it's a matter of checking Enable and then saving the program. Here's what happens with these values. When the tank drains down to that lowest level and the sensor reads 26.1% or less, this water source can't be used and it's taken offline. After 2 hours, it will check to see if the water level has come up again. If the level has increased and there's more than 26.1% moisture content on the sensor, the tank water source will resume watering. If the tank is still dry or below that 26.1%, it'll wait another 2 hours before checking again. Water source empty conditions are a great way to ensure that a tank, pond, or other water source isn't used when the water level is just too low. Here's another way to automate decisions with the data. Start a tank fill program based on the water level. Begin at the Schedules tab, add a new program, then name it. Select the zone that fills the tank or pond. Mine is Zone 6. At a runtime for the zone, I'll try 120 minutes. You'll need to do some math to make sure the tank fills up in 2 hours, but doesn't overfill either. Make sure the entire water window is available, remove the start time, and only allow start days. Day and time are the most common conditions to start a program, but not the only ones. For our tank, we'll select Add a Condition, and from the dropdown, use a moisture sensor to start a program. At the device list, I'll make sure that I'm using my tank level 1 moisture sensor. I want the moisture limit to be less than 26.1%, so it reflects that lower tank limit. Once I click Save, Program 10 will start when the water level is low enough for the soil moisture sensor to read 26.1% or less. Zone 6 is the only zone in this program, and it will run for 2 hours, filling the tank back up. There may be a time when you want to use additional sensors. I can add a second sensor like I did before, fastening to the PVC mount and securing the wire. I can even add a third sensor for more programming options. With these additional sensors, I can use the lowest one for a water source empty condition to ensure that no watering happens when the tank is empty. I can use the middle sensor to start a tank fill program, and I can use that uppermost sensor for a program stop condition to prevent the tank from overfilling.